Hi, Ron from Clarity. In this short video, we're going to help you at least give you an idea of what the top 3 HIPAA hosting providers are. Clarity's been designing and building HIPAA-compliant websites for nearly 20 years, and we've worked with many providers. Back in the day, 10 years ago, you had like one provider, was Firehost, and it started at like $1,200 a month. But things have changed now. Almost all of the top tier hosting providers, which are the ones that we recommend and use the most, but there's a lot of other smaller providers like Liquid Web and some of the others that provide HIPAA hosting. But if you were wanting to sign a BAA, and if you had a data breach, and you had to go to the courtroom to defend yourself, whose attorneys would you want sit next to you? Well, if it were me, it would be the big players. So let's cover it. Number 1, Microsoft. So Microsoft Azure, the great thing, they've got HIPAA-ready environments for availability on Azure. Many people are using Azure anyway. It's obviously Microsoft stack. Probably 80% of our HIPAA clients, when we develop the HIPAA websites, end up on Azure. Not only for its flexibility, but they allow us to also custom define and put together HIPAA environments that we need rather than only off-the-shelf packs that are usually planned for growth, so they're a little more. So for example, instead of having to pay a $700 a month plan when I really only need, let's say, the equivalent of $400, I'm going to grow into it over 2 years. I end up paying $300 a month extra for 3 years just because that's the lowest plan that meets my minimum needs. Azure usually allows us to flex, and we can go in and spec exactly what we need. And so I remember one client we went in and spec'd and deployed, and it was like $385 a month. So Microsoft Azure is number 1. Number 2, Amazon. AWS, obviously, Amazon's big in the hosting. They've got built-in safeguards. AWS also has scalable services. And have the tools built out and have the packages for you. So they have a lot of flexibility. We've deployed dozens of clients that are HIPAA on AWS. It's a great option. The final option, kind of new to the game, at least for clarity, historically it's been predominantly Azure and then followed by AWS. And then, we have a lot of clients that have some of their own HIPAA environments or some that already have using providers like Liquid Web that have an offering. We used to have 10 code load servers at Liquid Web, so I just happen to know that one pretty well, have offerings as well. And so they'll want to stick with their current hosting provider. But the final one is Google. So Google's cloud now also provides the basics. Now, the difference with Google that I've seen, at least the last I checked it, and it's probably been about a year or so since I checked into it, they scheduled by, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the day when I was the IT director at WordPerfect and we were using ISDN, everything was billed on volume. And so if you went over 1 month, then you would automatically build at the next interval, right? And it always just kept going up. That's kind of what it looked like to me. So I couldn't really tell, but I was trying to price out and figure what it cost. And I had to just pick some basic volume guesstimations, and everything was about the amount of records, the amount of volume that went through the site. So I think Google Cloud bills more on volume than it does for size and hardware requirements, where, most environments are like, I need 4 gig of RAM, 2 processors, and 10 gigabytes just for disk space for storage and log files. That's all I need. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, great. It's $300 a month. That would be, we do that quite often. They're more like, well, how many records are you storing? How many records are coming in? And it's much more around billing about the volume and transactions. But that might be better for you. So at least there's a different option there. So I think the first 2, Azure and AWS, obviously you'll want to schedule a demo with our team and we can let you talk to one of the infrastructure specialists. They'd be happy to help you specify which environment would work best for you and actually help you size that environment so that you can save money but have an environment that is planned for growth. So again, quick reminder, the top 3 that we recommend: Microsoft Azure, Amazon AWS, and Google Cloud. So hope that helps. Hope to chat with you soon on a HIPAA demo. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.